Good morning, everyone. Today we're going to be talking about the NGS headline because at the time of this recording, it literally just ended. But before we jump into all of that, if you're new to the channel, I upload NGS content daily. So if you do play this game, I would really appreciate a subscribe as it really helps out the channel. Anyway, without further ado, let's begin the video. So the very first thing I want to go over is, of course, the roadmap for 2024. And the main thing that I want to point out is the content that is coming out in June-July, because that is where the hype moment is. Now, I'm sure a lot of you guys are like, Caro, that's like in 6 months' time. What are you talking about? What about now? Yes, we're getting a bunch of stuff now as well, as you can see here until late January 1st till March, April to May. There is content and there's a lot of stuff involved there, including our tech art customization expansion and all that stuff. However, the main thing that I want to point out is going to be the new field as well as the new action system. This is two really cool things that they showed off on the live stream. So as I'm playing the video over here, we can see that this is the new field. This looks very similar to like Tokyo or Japan or like some urban environment, which is pretty awesome. And we're just running around over here. There's not a lot of mobs. I think they showed like one scene of fighting over here. Yeah, there's just a couple of dull enemies, nothing too special here. But what is really cool is this right here. This is the new action system. This is essentially like our AIS or our Gundam mobile suits that we can actually use in combat zones and exploration zones. So, we have our photon blast, which is our cool thing, but now we can actually summon these freaking mobile suits. Now, unfortunately, on the live stream, that was all they could show, simply because the developers were rather divided on whether they should be showing stuff that is not complete yet. So, for example, when we saw the mobile Gundam suit or the what they're calling the new action system for now, it looked very incomplete. It was kind of just like a placeholder as just a bunch of polygons there just to show people what exactly the new system or the new action system was going to look like. It's essentially just summoning a giant Gundam or a giant robot, and you got to use all its different abilities. You can use a giant blade, you can use its machine gun, you can use its thrusters to fly into the sky. So there's a lot of really cool stuff that is coming in June/July. However, of course, a lot of people are going to be like, all right, Caro, that's cool, but this NGS headline is about what's coming in January. What about the content that is coming now? And so before I get ahead of myself, let's talk about the stuff that is coming now. First of all, we are getting the Super Genesis Festival Part 2. And as we can see over here, the first thing is, of course, our Use the Salon to Your Heart's content is still going to be here for all the way until January 31st, so you got plenty of time to use the salon as much as you want. However, there are 3 major events kicking in right after tomorrow's maintenance. So once tomorrow's maintenance finishes, these 3 campaigns kick in automatically. The first one is up to 140 free draws, so we get 10 free SG scratches every single day. It's simply a free 10 pull. Very, very nice. Make sure that you log in every single day to do this, because even if you do get duplicate items, you can always turn them into SG badges, which is going to be useful later down the line. Just trust me on that. Just trust me, bro, as the source. But you're going to need a lot of SG badges later down the line. The next thing is the Super Genesis Gift Part 2. Simply just log in and you're going to get a bunch of goodies. And the last one is the Leciel Exploration and Limited Time Quest Super Boost campaign. And as we can see here, the Super Boost campaign is absolutely insane, with rare drop rate plus 200% as well as the fix of rare drop rate plus 200% for Leciel Exploration. They've been holding out for like months on this. All of those PSO2 days, premium user PSO2 days, we never got any boost to Leciel Exploration. And actually in the interview with Kimura, they actually talk more about it. They said that, they were thinking that a lot of people were going to be playing Leciel Exploration, as well as the new Dark Falz Aegis and Dark Falz Solus, but unfortunately the numbers didn't actually meet their expectations, and they looked into why that was, and it just happened to be the drop rate. The game was not respecting the average player's time. People aren't playing the game or farming any of the content simply because it's not rewarding enough. People wanted to play, but they weren't getting anything good after 10-20 runs, and they're like, yo, this is a waste of time, I'm not going to do it anymore. And so for the past 3 to 4 months, the dev team have been trying to balance the numbers for the rare drop rate so that it's actually respecting the player's time, and people are incentivized to actually do this content, which is a good thing, because Kimura himself, the director of NGS, admitted that they messed up and that they're using this as a learning experience so that they don't make the same mistake later in the future. So this was really, really nice to hear. And I'm really, really happy to actually hear from the lead developer themselves. We're not going to make the same mistake again. We're going to fix things, and it's starting from now. So this is a really nice change. And the Super Genesis Festival definitely feels like how the drop rate should be since day one, you know? Sure, the Flugel Guard weapons are still rare, however, they're dropping a lot more often than before, which is a very nice change. Now, of course, I did skim over the Super Genesis Gifts Part 2, so as we can see, we get another 10 end color change passes, as well as another 15 days of material storage, which is very nice. But on top of that, we also get an End Master Cube, as well as the next Alio stamp, which is really nice. However, the Super Genesis Festival does not end there. We also get another super pre-announced Urgent Quest and Boost campaign where they are doubling down now. So whenever you do an Urgent Quest, your rare drop rate is increased by 200% and your fixer drop rate is also increased by 200%. And on top of that, they've also boosted the Flugel Guard weapon drop rate, which is absolutely insane. And I think this is pretty much their way of just making sure that as long as you play the game, you are pretty much guaranteed to get a Flugel Guard weapon. This is their way of doing that, at least that's what I think. But nevertheless, this kicks in on January 10th. So, you know, if you still don't have a Flugel Guard weapon and you really want one, make sure to just do the Urgent Quest whenever it comes out starting from January 10th, because it's double the drop rate than what we have right now, since we have the plus 100% RDR boost as well as the fixer drop rate. So, you know, even though I know RDR is still a lie, I still meme about it, but they are really going all out on this. But if you don't care about the Flugel Guard weapon series, then at least the Super Genesis Gifts Part 3 should interest you, where you get another 15 end color change passes. This is insane on how many they're giving you. You can literally it's just freebies. You just log in and you get all of this. And on top of that, you get a preset skill enhanced success rate plus 15%, 5 of these. These cost SG before. You had to scratch a butt ton of star gems in order to get these, and they're just giving 5 of them just like that. Just like, here you go, free candy. So this is super, super nice. And then on top of all of that, we have a super item enhancement support campaign where basically if you're planning to enhance, augment, or limit break or multi-weapon, just anything with the item lab, you are getting some insane boosts over here. The first boost we get is the preset enhancement success rate plus 10%. It might not seem like much at the beginning. However, remember, this is preset enhancement success. That means that's the fixa system, not just like your regular enhancement, all right? So your fixa is increased by 10%. By default, it's already 10%. So now you have a 20% chance of getting a fixa to actually transfer onto your weapon, or to upgrade your fixa from level 1 to level 2, 2 to 3, so forth and so on. That is really nice. But more importantly is the augment success rate plus 10%. They have almost never done this. It's always been 5%. It's very, very rare for them to give you augmentation success rate plus 10%. So if you do want to add any expensive augments onto your gear, this would be a very, very good time to do so, because they're giving you an extra 10% boost. And then on top of that, the enhancement success rate is plus 90%. That's guaranteed, because you get 10% by default. So it's a 100% enhancement great success rate. You're going to be using less Golden Prim swords and Golden Prim armors to enhance all of your armors and your weapons. And on top of that, you get a 50% off Meseta cost for limit breaking and 75% off for multi-weaponing. This is absolutely insane that they're doing all of these boosts all at the same time. Usually they would stagger these so that you'd be like, oh yeah, you have to wait until, you know, the end of the month before you can fully upgrade all of your gear. But no, this is everything front loaded. On January 10th, you can do all of this. So if you were planning to upgrade, let's say that you get lucky and you do get a Flugel Guard weapon to drop, you might want to hold on to it and don't upgrade it yet until the super item enhancement support campaign kicks in, and then deck it out and pimp it out, because all of these boosts are going to kick in. Now the cherry on top is the super new and returning Ark's Call to Arms campaign. Now again, this does require you to use X or Twitter. I'm going to be doing this just to help you guys out, because there's actually some really good cosmetic items that I know a lot of people would appreciate. Basically, you're getting the Hitsugi pose 2. I use this a lot in a lot of my screenshots. And you also get Hitsugi's outfit, and you also get her katana. This katana is really cool looking, and I want everyone to be able to get it. So basically we need more than 5,000 people to post this on Twitter with the hashtags NGS Super Genesis Festival. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna ask everyone that I know to do it, and hopefully we can spread the word around, because this stuff over here is really cool. You also get a bunch of special scratch tickets as well as SG, but the katana and the outfit is what I want everyone to get, as well as the emote, because it's just too good to pass up, and it's super photogenic, and it just looks really nice. Now with this Super Genesis Festival out of the way, now we can actually jump into actual content that we're getting in January. So on January 1st, we are getting a new limited time event, New Year's 2024. So this is just a continuation of a seasonal event. So yeah, basically we're getting the New Year's seasonal event that just follows up from the Christmas seasonal event. So again, we can earn seasonal points. There's going to be seasonal wrappies. There's going to be a new seasonal shop. There's going to be a bunch of stuff that you can buy out from the seasonal shop. And then of course we have our ARCs records, as well as new limited time tasks, as well as titles. Now other than that, of course, there's going to be a bunch of AC scratches and SG scratches. So we do get the New Year's remix line. This scratch does include my old 2022 look, so if you did like that business attire with the trench coat, you can definitely pick it up now. It is a new version of it, so it's a little bit recolored and looks a little bit different. But nevertheless, if you did like that type of aesthetic, I'm going to show a screenshot right here. If you like this aesthetic, you can definitely pick it up, as it will be available in the New Year's remix line. Now on top of that, we also have the New Year's NGS emote revival, which allows us to get a bunch of different emotes. If you did want any of the emotes, they're doing a rerun, so all the popular emotes are coming back. So if you did miss anything, you can probably pick them up now. And on top of that, we are also getting a return of all of the XD capsules in the New Year's AC support item select. So if you did want any of the XD capsules, you can pick them up there. Now they're also including in the scratch count bonus a preset skill enhanced success rate plus 100% level 4. So that will allow you to upgrade your Fixa from Fixa 4 to Fixa 5 at a 100% success rate. However, keep in mind that is a scratch count bonus, which requires you to scratch 80 times or something. It's a lot. Now, starting from January 10th, we get the return of Randomite. Yes, Randomite is finally coming back after like 6 months. So for those who don't know what Randomite are, it's this RGB looking ore which gives you a bunch of minerals. It gives you like 10 of every mineral for every piece of ore that you break. So you're literally just going to travel around all around Halpha and break these RGB ores, or these Randomites, because it's going to give you thousands of minerals, literally thousands. So you want to make sure that you do go around Planet Halpha and break all of the Randomite. They do not respawn daily, they respawn weekly. But basically, you just want to go out and collect them all anyway, because it's a lot of resources. Usually, I just depend on Randomite. Like for the past 6 months, I have not done a single mineral route because I just collected Randomite every time it came up, and it gives you that many minerals to like carry you over for like the next 6 months. So you really want to take advantage of this. Just do it, because it's better to be safe than sorry. Now, another thing that is also kicking in on January 10th is going to be the new limited time quest practice drill, the Chilliest Chase. Apparently we're fighting Bigfoot or something over here, so we gotta find Bigfoot and beat him up. And it's like an obstacle course as well as some board racing, and it's really cool stuff. I'm down for this mainly because there is a limited time task regarding this that will actually give you more reward box medals. So remember that advent calendar reward box looking system, or whatever that is. You can earn more medals by doing this so that you can open it more often. So that's something that I'm going to be doing. And as I said earlier, the SG support item select January 2024 is also kicking in. Unfortunately, it's exactly the same as the current existing one, or the previous one that we had a couple weeks back. So the rates aren't going to be very good, unfortunately. They did say that they did boost the rates, or they will be boosting the rates for several of the preset skill enhancement items or capsules. But we're gonna have to wait and see. I skipped the last SG support item select because I didn't think it was worth my star gems. But we're just gonna have to wait and see. Honestly, I don't see the rates being that much better unless, you know, Sega really surprises me and does something super generous. If not, then I'm just not gonna spend my star gems on this. Next up is another AC Scratch Modish Winter over here. You know, this looks pretty cool. It's alright. It's not really my cup of tea, but I know a lot of people do like this type of fashion. But now we move on to the second half of January, so from January 17th onward, we get a new SG Scratch, Renewed Resolve. This is where we get Manon's outfit. For those who don't know, the moment I saw Manon's new outfit as well as hairstyle, I was like, I need that hairstyle. And so this is the new SG Scratch that you're going to be able to get everything from Manon. So her hairstyle, her outfit, there's like some new cosmetic items for her. You can even get the new music CD of Song of Morning, which is the Manon version. So she sings this song at the end of episode 1. So it's a really cool song. I really like her version of Song of Morning over Nadare's version, to be honest. But you know, both are good. So it's really nice that we can actually get the music CD from this SG Scratch instead of locking it behind a paywall like an AC Scratch. So I'm very happy to see that. And this Scratch is all revolved around Manon. If you like anything about Manon, this SG Scratch is going to be good. I'm assuming that the next SG Scratch is probably going to be all about Aina. But nevertheless, we're just going to have to wait and see. I'm just happy that Manon is getting some time to shine, and I'm going to be using my star gems here. And hopefully I'll be able to get everything, because I really like that emote flaunting over there. It's pretty cool. He's got like jazz hands. It's like whee. So I like that. Other than that, we also get a new mission pass season 28. There is the 100-watt mask. I am 110% getting that. But then again, it's a mission pass. You get everything, so no big deal there. But now for the big kicker that is going to drain all of your wallets dry, and that is the 7 Deadly Sins collaboration. Yes, we are getting the 7 Deadly Sins collaboration. We are getting Meliodas, Elizabeth, as well as Deanne, but the shining star for me is Hawk. You can get Hawk as a motion dash item. So yes, you can have Hawk as your mount and you just dash forward. It's super cool, super cute. That is what I am going for 110%. Even though there is a motion dash that I really want, that I'm actually swiping for the coming AC Scratch on the 27th, which is the Samurai Dash EX. I'm actually spending real money for that. But nevertheless, I will be picking up this Hawk dash as well. Probably not the EX version, because that'll cost real money. I don't even know if there is an EX version for this, but that Hawk Dash I definitely need, as well as the Hawk Mag device camo. I'm gonna need that as well. And finally, we do get a katana weapon camo from a collaboration, and it is of course Meliodas' Sacred Treasure Demon Sword Lost Vein. So it's really cool that his sword is actually compatible with katanas, so I will be picking that up for sure. Now, if your favorite character from 7 Deadly Sins is not included over here, don't worry, there's a bunch of stamps that cover all of the Deadly Sins, as well as vital gauges, so the HP bars. There's pictures for all of the different Deadly Sins. I'm a big fan of Bon, and unfortunately Bon was not available as a character in cosplay form, but nevertheless, at least I can get his vital gauge, so I can pop that at the side and just show him off. As other people are in my party, they'll be able to see Bon at the side and they'll be like, oh my god, how did you get that? And yeah, I'll be like, I got it when we had the collaboration. So do make sure to take full advantage of the 7 Deadly Sins collaboration when it kicks in on January 17th. And last but not least, on January 24th, we get a new version of Next Vera Suppression. So for those who don't know who Next Vera is, it's the big scary dragon in Alio. They removed his urgent quest, but they're revamping it as a new limited time quest where you get to fight a starless version of it, or at least it looks like a starless or gigantic version of it. And all of the mobs where you have to kill to get to Next Vera have also been revamped, and they're all starless or gigantic looking type of enemies, and it's going to be relatively challenging, but nevertheless, it's going to be cool. I like this change, and I'm definitely going to be trying this new piece of content, but something that I'm going to be diving head into first is going to be the Stella Grace recovery operation in all regions. This kicks in on January 25th till January 30th. You want to take full advantage of this. It only lasts for 5 days, but basically what happens is every 48 hours, all of these Stella Graces are going to pop around the map, and you pick them up and you get rewarded a ton of star gems. I believe you can open like 30 of them, and each of them gives you 5 star gems, so it gives you like 150 star gems every other day. So you want to take full advantage of that and make sure that you open as many as you can, because other than just rewarding you with star gems, they also give you Arms Refiners 2, as well as Growth Mint, as well as a bunch of high quality augment capsules. So they did buff the rewards, but more importantly, this is a ship-wide event, so a server-wide event. The more people who participate in this event, the more rare drop rate everyone gets at the second day. So remember, I said that this respawns every 48 hours. you have 24 hours to pick them up, and then you get another 24 hours where everyone on your server benefits from rare drop rate. So this is a super fun event. It's a super great event. It's been a while since we've seen the Stellar Grace recovery operation come in again, but I'm happy that it's finally back because this is a big source of my star gems, you know, just running around, getting all these capsules, getting star gems, growth mint. It just gives you everything that you kind of need to superpower your account. And yeah, it's kind of fun running around to the older areas and exploring and following your scanner and stuff. And you only need to open 30 of them. Well, technically you only need to open 10, but if you open all 30, you just get extra rewards. So I do recommend people to open all of them. And so when this event comes back, don't worry, I will be covering it in another video. I will remind everyone about this event because this is something that you definitely want to stay on top of. Now we return back to the roadmap. I'm going to be covering this in a separate video because I don't want this video to drag on too long. But the TLDR is, you know, a lot of the cool stuff is going to be in June/July, but we are getting a level cap increase to level 85 somewhere in February/March. And then on top of that, we are also getting Ranger and Gunner expansions, which sounds really cool. The next collaboration we're actually getting is going to be Niji Sanji Part 2. So that is another VTube agency similar to HoloLive. So that is pretty nice, I suppose. I'm not really the biggest Niji Sanji fan because I don't really follow them, but nevertheless, that's a cool collaboration. I'm kind of more interested in the April/May as well as the June/July collaborations. We get an anime based on a shonen manga as well as games from other companies. You know, that kind of got me a little bit interested. We're gonna have to wait and see. But again, the biggest thing that I'm waiting for is going to be the new action system as well as the new field. As for my creative space friends, we are getting the Kavars themed creative space in February/March, and then in June/July, we actually get a Japanese themed creative space. So Japanese themed creative space, that has piqued my interest. That is something that I will go absolutely ham on because I really like the Japanese aesthetic. I find it very nice to look at.
Special thanks to all the members for supporting the channel. It really means a lot to me. Thank you again.
But yeah, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Hopefully you guys found it helpful. If you did, I would appreciate a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Bye.